Hello planning masters and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be creating some patterns which by themselves are very fun to create and a great way to relax a little bit and jumpstart your creativity. But also they are a fantastic idea to decorate your cover page. If you're new here, my name is Masha and I'm creating videos on bullet journaling, doodling, creativity. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you always know when I release a new video. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, for today, the supplies I'm using is my B5 art journal because I want to fit a lot of patterns, and some fine liners and rulers. Everything will be linked in the description. So I kind of started recording a huge audio explaining all the patterns, but then I realized that with my explanations, it became just kind of more confusing, and I decided to just leave it as is. And I think you'll get it just from seeing how I create it. If you don't, be sure to leave me a comment and ask how exactly this pattern is created. And of course, be sure to check the blog post where I have some other patterns. I have more detailed explanations and written tutorials. And I also have inspirations from other creators who are so much better than me at creating patterns. So you can see some of these ideas much more precise than the patterns I create, because I kind of just refuse to use the ruler for some reason. I don't know, it's like against my belief or something. Anyways, I just wanted to leave a few comments on certain patterns, starting with this one. So this is a scale pattern, and you can actually leave it as is because just by itself scale is a pattern. But I think it would be cool to fill out each scale with different patterns. So usually I use the same pattern for all my scales, of course. But here, since I want to demonstrate different ways you can decorate your scales, we have very different patterns on each line of scales. You can really go super crazy and try so many more different patterns. These are kind of just some ideas to, well, get your mind going. I love this pattern, and it's just basically tons of circles. The key here is that you should use the pens with different thickness. So I'm using my thicker pen, which is almost a marker, for outside circles. And then I'm using my thinner pen for inside circles. And another important thing is that with this pattern, things don't have to be perfect. Make them different size, make them wobbly. It does not matter. The beauty of the pattern is not as much in it being precise as it is in it having more of a hand-drawn kind of effect. This is a super fun pattern and I love it, and you can play around with it so much. You can make these squares not like perfect but more wavy. You can use color. It's super fun. Be sure to check the blog post because I have several other variations on this pattern there. So I think it will be kind of an inspiration for you to experiment more and try different things with pretty much all of your patterns and see how much it changes if you use color, if you use a ruler, if you use the black paper or craft paper, or I don't know. It just looks different every time. This pattern looks amazing, and it's basically just a bunch of connected circles. I'm using here my circle maker, and I can't recommend this one enough. For everything circle, this is really a lifesaver. And of course, it allows me to create this super perfect pattern, which obviously you don't need a circle maker to create this pattern. You can just draw circles by yourself. It's just like it's much easier and it's much faster to create this particular pattern with a circle maker. And again, you can play around in so many ways with color, with maybe color in black, some areas of the pattern, or I don't know. There's just a lot of things you can do to make this pattern stand out even more. Okay, so this one is a basket pattern and it's really very easy. You will see me creating it here, and in case you still don't get exactly how to make it, be sure to check the blog post again because it does have a step-by-step photo instruction, which I don't know, I guess it just works better for some people. For me, for example, I'm much better if I see a photo or something than if I see a video. So yeah, in case you want to do this pattern and you need a photo on step-by-step instructions, it will be in the description. Just a little note here that this pattern actually looks gorgeous if you do it in color. Again, in the blog post, I have this pattern on the black paper in different colors. It's kind of like a rainbow color scheme and it just looks so much better. So definitely recommend you to try this one with color. Now this next one, I'm actually doing all the patterns by hand. And sometimes it just looks better if you use a ruler. With this pattern, it does look better if you use a ruler. And you can also play around. You don't have to fill out the full length of the pattern. You can just fill out some parts. You can use pens with different thickness. in the blog post, I have a cover page by one of the artists who used this pattern, but in a little bit different way, and it just looks stunning. The part of this pattern was cut out because I actually did try to use a ruler. And of course, my head was all over the camera. So now we're doing that by hand, which means that the lines are a little bit wonky, not that straight, but you can still see how to create the pattern. And another tip I want to give you, if you want to create patterns, I really would recommend you to have see-through ruler, because mine is not see-through and it is pretty difficult to keep the lines aligned perfectly if I cannot really see what I align it to. So yeah, definitely something I figured out while creating this video, so I thought I'd share with you as well. So for these patterns with just different lines, some are vertical, some are horizontal, you can actually enhance it if you start from creating it inside of little boxes. Personally, I didn't want to do it, so I just left a little bit of an empty space between them. But yeah, that's just something else you can add. So this pattern is kind of like a 3D boxes pattern, but I actually figured out a better way of doing it, and it is in my blog post, which I keep mentioning, but I put a lot of effort into it, so I would just really appreciate if you give it a look, because I did my best to put tons of value there. But yeah, so I found a better way to do 3D boxes pattern, and it's in the blog post, link in the description. And yeah, I would recommend you to try the other way instead. And while I'm finishing this pattern, just wanted to give shout out to my patrons who are amazing, and I'm so grateful for your support. And I am planning on doing like so many new different things with Patreon starting in July, and I'm very excited for that. And of course, everyone who supports me on Ko-fi, you guys are awesome, and I really appreciate every time I get a cup of coffee. Thank you so much for that. With this triangle pattern, it's kind of like with the scale pattern. You can leave it as is, but you can also like decorate inside the triangles. You can decorate all of them, you can decorate some of them, you can use the same pattern, you can use different patterns. I just tried to use a lot of different things in like random places, and I think I kind of like the way it came out. But yeah, just let your imagination flow. Let me know in the comments if you guys are also addicted to creating patterns, which one of these were your favorite. And I'll see you in the next video. Keep bullet journaling and don't be a blob. Bye!